welcome back here with us on Overdrive. Now, CNG cars might not be the most sought after cars in the Indian market, but they are of course economical and hence more sensible. Now, of course, the trade-off would be detuned powertrain and a few features, but then again, Tata is deciding to change that ideology with the Nexon CNG.
The general consensus about CNG vehicles is that CNG stands for compromised natural gas. At least that's what most people believe, because CNG means compromised performance, compromised features, and an overall driving experience that leaves you wanting more. But that's not the case anymore in this Tata Nexon CNG. So today, I'm on a mission to convince you that the Tata Nexon CNG delivers great performance, is loaded with features, and why it should be on top of your shopping list if you're on the market for a new compact SUV. So let's get on with it. The well-known 1.2-litre engine delivers power to this Nexon CNG as well. So that makes this car the very first Turbo-CNG on the market. The power has been detuned to 100 PS, which is still respectable. If you got to make quick overtakes on the highway, it doesn't feel underpowered and enters the triple-digit speeds quite effortlessly. Something you might want to avoid doing is revving this engine out too harshly, as it feels quite jittery upon liftoff, and that's mostly due to the fact that this is still a 3-cylinder engine and not 4. Switching from petrol to CNG is again a silky smooth transition. The CNG switch is part of the touch-sensitive buttons in the center console, and you wouldn't really realize the difference in power delivery once you do make the switch to CNG. Something I've always enjoyed about Tata vehicles is their ride quality. The Nexon CNG carries on that lineage and excels in the city as well as on the highway. It deals with small undulations very well, and even larger potholes not send too many vibrations around the cabin. Now, the Nexon CNG is about 120 kgs overweight than the standard Nexon, and Tata has done a very good job retweaking that suspension springs to manage the extra added weight. In terms of looks, the Nexon CNG is identical to the petrol or diesel Nexon, save for the iCNG badge on the boot lid. On the inside, it's just as convincing. Tata has pretty much loaded this CNG Nexon to the brim with features, something that can't be said about any other CNG vehicle on the market. This top-spec Fearless Plus variant gets all-round LED lights, 16-inch alloy wheels, the twin 10.25-inch driver display and infotainment screen, a wireless charger, ventilated front seats, a JBL sound system, a 360-degree camera, 6 airbags, and pretty much everything from the other Nexons. Even a panoramic sunroof. Yes, a full-size panoramic sunroof in a CNG vehicle. Being a CNG, it also gets the mandated fire extinguisher tucked under the passenger seat. The Nexon CNG has a decently big boot at 321 litres. That's just 60 litres smaller than the petrol Nexons, which is precisely the same amount of CNG capacity that the split tanks can store in them. Not everything about this Nexon CNG is perfect though. Like just yesterday, I was road tripping with the entire family in the car, and my sister, who was sitting in this middle seat, pointed out that this isn't the most comfortable place. For the very first time, I'm going to have to agree with her, because this seat isn't as wide and even the cushioning is a tad bit firm as well for longer journeys. Plus, the absence of a headrest is another bummer as well. For 2 people though, it's great. You have an armrest here, knee room is pretty nice, headroom is pretty good as well, and you also get charging ports Type A and Type C for your charging needs. Just don't tell my sister I said she was right in the first place. Another thing that I would like to point out about the Nexon CNG is this gearbox. If there's one deal breaker about this car, that would be this 6-speed manual transmission. It is smoothish, but mostly it feels clunky to use, and even the throws are slightly longer than you would expect. Especially on longer trips, it could get a bit annoying. Something else that bothers me is Tata still refusing to give cup holders in their cars.
This space here is where the drive mode selector is in the normal Nexon, but in the CNG you don't get drive modes. Instead you get an empty space here which looks like a cup holder, but the shape can only mean that you can keep the car keys in it. I cannot imagine any cup fitting in this space.
The Tata Nexon is unmistakably the highest selling SUV in India at the moment, and with the introduction of the new CNG, makes the Nexon the only car on the market to be available in 4 different powertrains. This CNG model just might be the best pick of the lot, as in petrol mode you almost get the same experience as the petrol Nexon, with the added benefit of having an alternative fuel for better mileage at your disposal. At Rs 14.59 lakh ex-showroom, and keeping in mind you don't miss out on any features, overlooking the Tata Nexon CNG would be a tough ask if you were in the market for a compact SUV.
Well, with that, we've come to an end on this week's episode of Overdrive, and also the last show of the year. So let me wish you all a very happy new year. Do celebrate, but with a lot of care. So drive and ride safe.